Hey everyone, welcome to the Deskperts channel. Today we're looking at the Magnus Pro and basing our full opinion on whether or not it wobbles at maximum height. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do it.
When trying to save money, we sometimes fall into the trap of going for the cheapest thing we can get, even though it doesn't quite tick all of our boxes. And then we end up getting a replacement and upgrading the budget option. We should have set our sights higher in the first place. I paid 1,150 United Kingdom bucks for the Secretlab Magnus Pro, and now that the dust is settled, do I think it was worth the price? Hi everyone, my name is Vey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to review the Magnus Pro and share my experience with it after 3 months of ownership. I also want to give you some insight into the UK buying experience. What's the point of a sit-stand desk? Well, it's very important to get a home desk right in 2023 since most of our time is spent in front of one, working from home, studying from home, we might be running a side business or simply spending hours playing games on this important piece of furniture. If you've ever taken that half-hour workplace training video that seems to come around every year, you should be familiar with 3 concepts regarding desk posture. Number 1, sitting for long periods of time is not healthy for your body. You're supposed to get up and move around for a few minutes every hour. Number 2, your arms should rest in a 90-degree angle to the table to prevent strain on your shoulders and wrists. Number 3, your eyes should be in line with the top third of your monitor to avoid neck and spine issues. It's better to invest in your long-term health early instead of having to go through doctor's visits and all kinds of therapy when it's too late. So how does the Magnus Pro address these 3 important factors of desking? The height is adjustable from 65 cm to 125 cm. I'm confident that this range should cover every person who needs a desk. There are 3 presets available, so it has the potential to be shared between people with different heights, and the motors work smoothly and quietly.
So going from a sitting position to a preferred standing height is nice and easy. You should be going for daily walks, but when that's not possible, standing whilst you work is a decent alternative.
It's easy to overlook how important the minimum height is, and for shorter people, the 65 cm setting is a blessing. I'm 5'7", and the lowest setting on this desk means that I can have my arms at a 90-degree angle without raising my chair to compromise my sitting posture, because ideally I don't want my legs dangling. If you do have a higher chair, I recommend a basic footrest. Actually, I recommend one full stop. Even if your legs aren't dangling, they're really comfy to use when you want to kick back and relax. To get my eyes level with the top area of my monitor, I went with the optional monitor arm that Secretlab sells for an additional £150. This isn't necessary if your monitor stand has adjustable height features, but the extra desk space available when using an arm is worth the consideration, especially on the standard sized Magnus Pro. To sum it up, Secretlab has nailed the ergonomics and it shouldn't be difficult to find a suitable setting for most people out there. There are a bunch of great accessories that take the Magnus Pro to the next level, and we'll talk about these later, but at £729 for just the desk on its own, I still believe this is an investment worth considering if you're in the market for a sit-stand desk. Let's start with the cable management. The cable tray is very well thought out and it runs the length of the desk. It's 170mm deep, so roomy enough for power strips and hard drives that are best left out of view. And why would you put a power strip in there? Well, because of the power socket inside the tray. This connects to the bottom of the leg, so there's only one cable exiting the desk. Other desks sometimes will have some sort of netting underneath the tabletop for their cable management solution, which to me looks quite cumbersome to deal with and not very pleasing to the eyes. Whereas the Magnus Pro allows access to the cables via a sturdy flap. This easily accessible, robust cable tray adds so much value to the Magnus Pro. And even if I spent a couple of £100 trying to replicate something like this on a DIY desk, I doubt it would be as well engineered and easy to install. Not to mention the time and effort that would take. There are also cable trays on either side of the desk which I use for my headphones. These side trays work best when this plastic stopper is removed, otherwise they will just fall off on their own. When it comes to the control panel, the functions are quite standard. There's a power lock, 3 adjustable presets, an up and down button and the display. What sets this control panel apart is the fact that it is built into the desk. It's not bulging out awkwardly like most of the control panels on the market, and they've achieved this while keeping the tabletop incredibly slim. This is a big deal because it gives me more freedom to move around without worrying that I might snag and bump into a control panel. This subtle detail makes the desk feel more spacious and comfortable to use day to day. The buttons don't feel cheap and clicky either. This is a premium feeling touch panel.
Nice.
This is subjective, but I think the Magnus Pro looks amazing, and most people who have seen the desk in person agree. This might sound like a silly reason to like the desk, but I find that having a clean, aesthetically pleasing workspace helps me to focus. It doubles up as a creative space for content creators who might appreciate a nice backdrop to set the mood for YouTube and Instagram posts, and every part of it looks and feels impressive, from the heavy metal desktop to the sturdy, silent motorized legs, and once again the awesome cable management tray. It's not just a desk that feels premium, but the unboxing experience, the presentation of instructions, the included toolkit and cable ties are all high quality and makes me feel like the money I spent actually went somewhere. If you're the kind of person who likes nice things, this is most definitely a nice thing. There isn't a major wobble at max height during normal usage, although if you really try, of course it's going to rock a bit, but most people don't get a desk for the purpose of rocking it back and forth.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Deskperts channel. Today we're looking at the Magnus Pro and basing our full opinion on whether or not it wobbles at maximum height. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's do it. Zero out of 10.
I do believe any desk will have some sort of wobble at maximum height, and this probably has more to do with your floor type and floor construction. I'm on thin carpet with rubbish wood panels, and even with this setup, there's no noticeable wobble when I'm using the desk in a normal manner. I do get some monitor wobble when the legs are extended if I'm being a bit rough, but that's probably because I'm using a monitor arm. On paper, the RGB strip is expensive at £69, but if your mind is set on having some sort of RGB strip, this is the one to go with. Don't try to save a bit of money by getting a cheaper one. This proprietary RGB strip is the perfect length for the desk. It attaches and removes easily because of the magnets, and it feels very robust. It comes with an attached remote panel, but I recommend using the Nanoleaf app and voice controls. Hey, turn on Secretlab RGB. At $149.99, there's no doubt that the monitor arm is expensive. So where is my money going here? Well, it's an all-metal construction first of all, so it feels solidly built and puts me at ease because it's holding onto my studio display. It has a max load of 8 kilograms, and for those with heavier monitors, a heavy-duty monitor arm is in development. The tension is adjustable, and it looks great with its angular shapes and metallic red accents that go well with the cable clips. I'm not usually a fan of branding, but I found that I appreciated the non-intrusive details here, so it's done tastefully to my eyes. It also has built-in cable management via these removable magnetic plates, so that's another point of convenience Secretlab has thought to include. All in all, my money is going towards a sturdy, good-looking, easy-to-install monitor arm that's designed perfectly for this desk. I do have to mention that it does have a tiny bit of looseness, so it can be tricky to get perfectly straight. The cable clips look excellent and work well, but be careful when handling them because if they stack on top of each other, the paintwork will chip. The entry is approximately 10mm wide and can comfortably fit 2 standard size cables. These can be slapped onto any part of the table. The headphone hanger is surprisingly good and has a rock solid grip on the table when it sticks. The pad is smooth and has a slightly rubbery finish. I highly recommend this as a way to clear up some extra space on the surface, and it's best suited for the bottom left corner of the desk since the control panel is on the other side. Finally, the full-sized magnetic desk mat is another one of those accessories that on paper seems like it's expensive, but it's absolutely worth the money if you're going to invest in a large desk mat anyway. Of course, you can just go for a smaller one that's much less expensive, but I do feel that a perfectly sized premium desk mat elevates the overall experience and aesthetic of this piece of furniture. If some of the designs are too garish for your taste, there is a pure black version, which is the one I went for. I'm sure you can tell from my shots that all of these accessories are well made and use high quality materials, and I wasn't disappointed with any of them when it comes to build, design and even the packaging. If I really wanted to save money and could only buy one accessory, it would definitely be the magnetic desk mat. So it's all sounding pretty good right now, but it goes without saying, the desk is not perfect for everyone. The proprietary nature of the magnetic ecosystem is both a strength and a weakness. If you already have a monitor arm and microphone boom arm, there's a chance these won't fit without some sort of struggle. I was able to mount my Elgato arms on the far ends of the table, but other arms will have to be researched before you dive in. Secretlab are slowly rolling out more accessories, and the ones that do exist are great, but this is something worth keeping in mind. As a reminder, the cable tray is 110mm in height and 170mm deep. The space between the edge of the table and the front of the tray is about 20mm. By the way, anything that gets clamped onto the desk will have to slip in between the magnetic RGB strip, so the light on the wall will be bold. I have 3 accessories clamped to my desk, and you can see the effect of the bowing right now. The desk measures in at 1500mm wide and 700mm deep, but the true depth is actually 585mm because the end of the desk is reserved for the all-important cable management tray. I think it's fine to place things on the flat, but it's not a good idea to put anything too heavy back there, and any permanent placements would make it annoying to access the cable management tray without fussing around. For larger rooms, I would recommend the Magnus Pro XL for the extra inches. So with that all out of the way, you might be a UK resident like myself and curious about what the experience has been like since Secretlab is based in Singapore. There was a 1-month wait time for my order, but it arrived about 5 days earlier than expected. And once the dispatch began, the whole process was super smooth, and I received updates from Secretlab and the courier they used, which specializes in 2-man deliveries. The company they use in the UK is called BJS, and I haven't heard of them before either, but they were great at keeping me up to date, with options to change my delivery day, various confirmation emails, and they even gave me a call half an hour before they arrived. I've heard horror stories from people over in the US about how their packages arrived looking like FedEx had a vendetta against the poor things, sometimes with damage to the contents. I'm happy to say that BJS delivered my boxes close to pristine. There was one small hole on one of my boxes, but the packaging inside is so dense and robust that there was no way such a small blip was going to damage my desk. All that is to say, as a UK customer, the purchasing experience is top notch. So that's the Secretlab Magnus Pro. There's no denying it's an expensive investment, but when you consider the quality of what's on offer here, and the research, upgrades and DIY involved in improving a budget desk, the price gap starts to get smaller. Even after 3 months of daily use, I still approach this desk enthusiastically and feel the same satisfaction about the design, the build and the aesthetically pleasing accessories the way I did on day 1. It's an important piece of furniture for someone who spends a lot of time at a desk, and I'm personally very glad I took the plunge and went for the one I really wanted. I highly recommend the Secretlab Magnus Pro. If you like the way it looks, I have no doubt you will enjoy the way it functions. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, I hope I will create a video you do enjoy sometime in the future. Click the like and subscribe button whilst you're here, and I'll see you in the next one.